Narcissistic behaviors often escalate over time due to a combination of factors. So, in today's video, I want to share with you 7 reasons why you should safely make an exit if you believe that you are dealing with a pathological narcissist. Number 1, lack of accountability. Narcissists typically resist acknowledging their own faults or seeking help. Instead, they often blame others for their problems. This lack of accountability allows negative behaviors to persist and intensify. Number 2, entitlement. As narcissists feel entitled to special treatment and admiration, they may become increasingly demanding when their expectations are not met. Oftentimes, you'll see where they get frustrated and angry, and this can actually lead to more manipulative and harmful behaviors. Number 3, compensation for insecurities. Underneath the grandiosity and arrogance, many narcissists harbor deep-seated insecurities. To cope with these insecurities, they may engage in increasingly extreme behaviors to maintain their fragile self-esteem. Number 4, cycle of abuse. Narcissistic behavior often follows a cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Over time, the cycles may become more frequent and intense, causing more harm to come to those around them. Number 5, lack of empathy. Narcissists lack empathy, and this makes it difficult for them to understand or care about the impact of their actions on others. This lack of empathy can lead to increasingly callous and destructive behaviors. Number 6, isolation. Narcissists often isolate themselves from people who challenge or criticize them. This isolation can create an echo chamber, reinforcing their distorted views and encouraging more extreme behaviors. Number 7, avoidance of introspection. Narcissists are incapable of truly self-reflecting, so they are incapable of truly introspecting. This avoidance or this inability can prevent personal growth and hinder any chance of recognizing and addressing harmful behaviors. It is important to understand that at the core of the narcissistic personality is their inability to self-reflect. And they have the inability to self-reflect because they abandoned their true selves in childhood. They started to dissociate it from their true selves, their true spirits, in their childhood years. Instead, what they have identified with, what they have adopted is a false self, that which we call the ego or the mask. And the ego does not have the ability to self-reflect. The ego is a false self. Hence, what it does is it projects. So pathological narcissists will project all of their deep-seated insecurities onto you. When you're dealing with a pathological narcissist, you're dealing with someone that is based in shame and they're unable to move past their pride. And understand that the pride that we're talking about here is dysfunctional pride. This is where their grandiosity and their false sense of superiority comes from. So understand that pathological narcissists believe that they are perfect, and because they believe that they are perfect, then there is no need to change. Hence, pride cometh before the fall, and they fall right back down to shame, because you have to transcend lower level emotions to get to a higher level. However, pathological narcissists are incapable of letting go of their pride. And again, pride cometh before the fall, so they fall right back down to shame. And understand that when we're talking about shame, here we are talking about pathological shame. This is self-esteem so low that they would probably have to look up to see it. So you're dealing with someone that does not truly love themselves. So innately, they believe that they are unworthy. And someone that believes that they are unworthy of love are also incapable of loving others. So you cannot love a pathological narcissist, and they also cannot love you back because they are unable to get to the vibration, the consciousness level of love, and that would be way up in the 500s. Pathological narcissism at an energetic level exists below the line of 200. Again, these individuals are stuck in the third dimension. Every day they wake up, they're in the first dimension, and at best they get to the third dimension. And again, they are unable to let go of their pride, so pride cometh before the fall, and they fall right back down to shame. And they have been in this shame, pride cycle since their developmental years. So you're dealing with someone with severe psycho-spiritual arrested development. So at the level of the psyche or the personality or the soul, understand that they have an impairment at the level of the mind. So you are dealing with someone that is losing their mind. They have an impairment at the level of their emotions because they're based in shame and they're unable to move past their pride. So they do not have access to courage. They do not have access to acceptance. They do not have access to neutrality. They do not have access to love, peace, empathy, joy, and so on. At best, they get to pride. And again, pride cometh before the fall, and they fall right back down to shame. And when we are talking about the will, well, they have an underdeveloped will. Hence, they are very impulsive and or compulsive. However, at their core, this is a spiritual disorder because these individuals started to dissociate from their true selves, their true spirits in childhood. So we are talking about a severe type of self-abandonment. So they abandon their true self for a false self, that which you call the ego. And the ego is the masks that they wear to deceive others. And pathological narcissists do not truly want to take these masks off because you will see when their masks slip, they will drag the mask even tighter onto their face. And this is why when you question them, when you see cracks in their mask, they have a narcissistic injury. And a narcissistic injury is when a pathological narcissist perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, that goes against the grandiose false self, that goes against the ego, that goes against the mask. So they do not want to take the mask off. When they have a narcissistic injury, they drag the mask tighter onto their face. So understand that you're dealing with someone with severe psycho-spiritual arrested development. They are based in shame and they're unable to move past their pride. And this means that they are stuck in victim abuser consciousness, which means that any relationship that you get into with a pathological narcissist will be a victim abuser type 1. This is the behavior that you get from someone that did not develop past their lower ego. They are going to behave like a maladaptive toddler. They're going to throw tantrums, and this is what you call the narcissistic rage. It is an adult tantrum because they truly do not know how to regulate their own emotions. And again, these individuals have psycho-spiritual problems, and this is what you're seeing in the physical realm. So if you are dealing with a pathological narcissist, understand that they are regressing. They get worse with age. They age like milk, hence they are curdling. They do not age like wine. They do not get better with time. And this is why in the narcissistic intimate relationship, for example, you will see where that relationship went down over time. It got worse because they are regressing. They are devolving because they are not evolving. Hence, if you are dealing with someone and you suspect that they are a pathological narcissist, setting healthy boundaries and seeking support are crucial for your well-being. So if you need one-on-one support, go ahead and schedule a one-on-one coaching session. I've been where you are, lost, confused, and unsure of how to navigate this challenging time. But understand that you can heal from narcissistic abuse. However, you need accurate information and you need to take action on this information. So if you're dealing with narcissist after narcissist after narcissist and you can't seem to keep your head above water, then there is a blind spot that you have. So I can help you in these coaching sessions and I'll guide you from A to Z on how to truly navigate this challenging time, how to actually see narcissists for who they are instead of wearing rose-colored lenses. I have been where you are, lost, confused, and seeking a way out. But guess what? Know that you can heal from narcissistic abuse, but you need accurate information and you need to take action on this information. So if you are ready to rewrite your story, let's connect. Scheduling a session really is as easy as clicking a button. So your transformation begins again when you take that courageous first step. So take that courageous first step and book a one-on-one session. Take that courageous first step and ascend. It is important that you get to the fourth dimension or higher, because when you get to the fourth dimension or higher, that is when you will escape narcissistic abuse. You have to get the courage to walk away and stay away from these dysfunctional personality types, because statistics state that it takes on average 7 times for victims to become survivors. Because what happens is when you're in these abuse cycles, you're trying to go back to the love bomb. You're trying to go back to that loving stage that you thought you were really in, but it really was a love bomb. And a love bomb is one of the many manipulation tactics that pathological narcissists use to get their victims to drop their guard so that they can come in and abuse them. So this relationship really did not start off with love. It started off with a love bomb. There's really no healthy relationship to go back to because you were in an abuse cycle. So understand again that your transformation begins when you take the courageous first step. You have to end the cycle because abusers are always looking for victims. Remember, you are not alone. Together, we'll navigate the journey of healing. I'll help you to uncover your strength and to create a future filled with empowerment. It is absolutely possible to attract healthy and wholesome people and experiences into your life. But again, you need the accurate information and you need to take action on this information. So that's really the quick message for today, kind folks. Thank you all for your continued support. Ensure that you are liking these videos. Ensure that you are subscribed for more empowering content. If you have any questions or feedback, go ahead and leave that in the comment section. Sheikah is the name. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.